I guess you're back with the letter. When we last left off, there's just a really nice scene. It was Zachary, Ash, and Rebecca, I almost said Hannah, cleaning up Isabella's things to send home to her family. And it was just, I liked it. Just think it was well written. Yeah, except the whole thing's off to a bad start. And all of a sudden, whatever Isabella claimed dwelling in this mansion becomes the least of my concerns. We have something even more terrifying than ghosts. A date. Severely underdressed is a total understatement to describe how I look. Cars, with more than my own apartment and childhood home combined, line the mansion's front yard. Men and women decked out in their best also flock near the entrance. Most are eager for the festivities to start, while some are simply idling about, enjoying the warm afternoon sun before it sets. Again, this might be the finale of Rebecca's route. Once the woman standing at the front porch speaks, their undivided attention immediately shifts to her. Presumably Miss Wright, from the confident manner she holds herself among present company. This, despite keeping a far simpler appearance than the rest of her own guests, not having her own husband beside her. A trait worthy of utmost admiration at best. At worst, she's the envy of every woman, the subject of every gossip in Lexborn.
Well,
welcome everyone. Mom said we've been good friends? Can't even picture myself mingling with the kind of guest she has. Though I admit, she does seem familiar, now that I've seen her this close. What's the age difference between them? They're about the same age, right? 29, and I think Hannah's 31? Yeah. Memories of sitting in vanity, and of vanity, not mine, being dressed in clothes too fancy for my tastes. They flit briefly in my mind until her cheerful tone rises above the buzz of her enraptured audience.
Please,
again.
make yourselves at home.
Wish I can share your enthusiasm, really. But being surrounded by all this extravagance, for the lack of a better word, really makes me dread how the rest of the night might go. Also knowing there might be some truth to what lies inside the place. Well, yeah, you'll really dread how the rest of the night goes when... I'm assuming the start's gonna end on this night. Where, I don't know if she's gonna die or live. I don't know, have I made the right decisions? Have I not? Ashton, on the other hand...
Be careful with Shirley, alright?
For someone who abhors greetings like this, sort of seemed right at home, standing with an air too lackadaisical as he watches the valet drive off with his bloody car.
Can't you at least act with a bit more shame?
Becca, if I find a single scratch on Shirley, there will be hell to pay.
Those guys know what they're doing. They're handling cars worth more than your precious Shirley.
My disdain has already shown beyond the tone of my voice, quite possibly in the form of a grimace. He chuckles, in a moment where mirth and amusement dance across his features. Just meant to pull up a string there, can't help but join him instead. There's something in the lightness of it, how easy this kind of interaction falls into place, when we don't let feelings get too involved, instead of being stuck in a situation we're not fond of. Brings back memories. However, the moment doesn't hold. All of a sudden, Ashton goes quiet.
Chief?
Oh, right. An odd expression flashes momentarily across his face, though he blinks it away. Before I can figure out what exactly it is.
Ashton, what's...
Sorry, Becca, I just saw someone I need to catch up with. Longtime friend.
It doesn't help that he isn't even making an effort to spare glance my way when he answers. Instead, they're focused at some point in the crowd. So what's up with the chief? There's clearly something up with him. Is he in cahoots with the professor and Hannah? Wait, what if Hannah's been... Hold on. From him! The socialite heard of the Ermengarde Mansion's upcoming open... Hannah's not evil! She's been getting... Oh my... It all makes sense now! The director... Chief Inspector Harvey Lee, also known as the bartender. Wait, why is he a bartender too? That part doesn't make sense. I need more dots to connect. He and the professor. Who's the bad guy? Who's the good guy? Who? This gay starting between people walking past us until a small frown forms on his face. The chief inspector's the serial killer. It makes sense. It all makes sense. All the dots have been connected. I'm a genius. I'll be right back. Hey, we're back. Sorry about that. I ended up just calling it there for the day, so it's the day after. I remember I said some funny joke and then I called it, I think. This guy is darting between people walking past us until a small frown forms in his face. This is gonna be like a line or two before.
Oh wait, Ash! Oh, what about...
This won't be long. Be careful while I'm gone, okay?
Right. He saw the deputy and my not crazy theory. Read the smile, he hastily throws my way with a frown of my own. What does he mean by that? But before I can ask already, he's turned his back from me and is walking away, without a single explanation whatsoever. In some desperate effort, I try to catch up to him, only to know what warranted this sudden departure and his odd warning at the end.
Hey, be careful! About what exact...
Only for my attempts to be interrupted by a muffled ringing from my pocket. Mom's cheerful voice greets me as soon as I answer.
Yes, I'm at the party already, Mom. Yes, I'll say hi to her if I can.
The conversation itself doesn't last long. Just a simple hello, a reminder to enjoy the party, and send their regards to the old student. When the call ends and I get to look up, Ashley's already heading inside. Okay. I gotta go back all the way. Like I said earlier about the soundtrack, it's not really too noteworthy, but it's still nice. Like, the songs aren't bad by any means. With a sigh and admittedly a little disappointment, I tuck my mobile back into my pocket and follow after him.
So much for date.
Even with familiar company, this is somehow shaping up to be a terrible evening. Oh, just you wait! You think she's gonna die? Party hits full swing an hour later. With the host's opening remarks given, still no sign of her husband, the poor woman, and the guests promptly fed, the band shifts the melody to a livelier tune. What must look up to? We know during this time Marianne is already in the cellar, right? Or whatever, the dungeons. Soon, after rhythmic tapping of shoes filled the room, all in accordance to the lifting strains of music. Seems fun, I admit. Fascinating at certain moments, the flurry of dancers making the music their own, almost with no care in the world. If I weren't so indisposed, I'd have joined the crowd for a song or two. There's no lack of invitations anyway, plenty of them in fact, with some asking more than once. It's only my stubborn refusal that prevents me from joining them. And I can. Single nod is all it will take. The evening would have been far more enjoyable for me. But pride in my own silly hopes, that's being seen with one of them by him, curbs that, as much as I hate to admit it. It's a hard truth to swallow, especially when the very person at the center of it makes denial difficult. Can't even spare me a minute of his attention, or a single glare at me the whole evening. Heck, Zachary might have spoken more words to me. Oh yeah, Zachary's the photographer. But gets busy covering the event to boot. But at least he manages to slip in a conversation or two between takes, or a small wave of his hand when he passes by. What's Ashton's excuse? He's been fading in and out of sight the whole time. One moment, he's hanging around a small group. In another, he's hovering around the string band. Just a second ago, he's wolfing down some deviled eggs by the buffet table, a glass of wine in hand. Next thing I know, he's gone. If I didn't know any better, say he only agreed to come here with me for another reason. What? No. Come on, you wouldn't do that. He totally did that.
I swear, the next person who asks, I'm dancing the night away with. Ashton can go fuck himself.
Whoa! Watch the language.
You would catch his eye a lot better if you wore nicer clothes, don't you think?
Her voice almost makes me jump. Too focused on... The what? Oh. One who engages in nonsensical chatter or unwanted conversation. It's moderately offensive. If she's heard any of the profanities I mumbled, or she takes notice of my discomfiture, she makes no comment on it, rather greeting me with a smile when I turn my attention to her. Miss Hannah Wright gives off a whole different air when she's not speaking to an audience. Homely, but too friendly for my liking. But I guess that comes from being raised in such an environment, having to deal with the pompous, snooty people. Though, I suppose nothing has really changed from years ago. Remember her carrying herself in the same manner during that one and only visit. Thought you didn't remember her. Does she remember any of it? Won't be surprised if she doesn't. It has taken me a while myself. She's probably met a lot of people like little Becky throughout the years, and I've already forgotten about me or my parents. People like her thrive on connections, after all. Nevertheless, I returned her smile, awkward and stiff as it may be.
Didn't realize the housewarming was going to be this fancy. I would have gone with a nice dress if I knew.
Oh, you're fine, dearie. It's only really the parvenu, those who climb, that come to these parties all dolled up. Quite the black-haired beauty, isn't he?
Takes me a while to realize who she's talking about. Till Ashton walks by again, closer proximity than any of the times he's done so far this evening. Still without a look of acknowledgement, aren't we? He's trying to find out about Hannah. Even if Miss Wright speaks loud enough to catch the attention of anyone within earshot.
Who, Ash?
You know, you really shouldn't have turned down those offers. If I wasn't married, I'd happily go dancing with those young men. But you said a name. Ash. That's the exquisite lad you've been looking at all this time.
What? No.
I don't know him, and I'm the one hosting this party. That must mean you know each other. Is he your boyfriend then? Because that would explain those rejections.
A ghost is about to... Every time there's a CG, an animated one like this, you know, ghost. This isn't the first time someone has made that assumption. Almost every student I've had in the past did. My co-workers, more often than not, assume he is. A few of my neighbors also think we're an item. Not that Ashton has ever reacted to those. He's been quite indifferent about it, in fact. But his reason's clear to me now. Still, the heat of a blush creeps up my cheeks. Denial ready, despite wanting it to happen so badly
What?
myself.
No, that's ridiculous. He isn't my boyfriend.
Such a violent reaction. A simple no would have sufficed. Many here would be happy to hear it.
And I haven't been looking at him.
I do my best to summon a straight face, but before a good cheer, it easily falters.
That's right. You've been staring. Quite heatedly, in fact. Although I'm not sure if you look like you want to kiss him or kill him.
It's more the latter currently.
Just don't go murdering him on my property.
Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha!
I don't want to walk into a room and suddenly find a body.
Ha ha
There.
ha! It's infectious, in a way. No sooner I find myself enjoying our chat more than I imagined myself to. Although her attention briefly wavers at one point, she remains a good companion. Even more once I've mentioned who my parents are. Her face quickly lends up. Fondness graces her face, despite the meeting from several years ago being a short one. But of course, there are some things we really can't avoid talking about. After all, it's one of the few things I remember her asking me, the moment she spotted little Becky in the room. Do you have a boyfriend? In retrospect, it's an odd thing to talk about as children, and there are loads who could have started
Yes,
with.
oh, I remember you. You were the cutest little thing with glasses. And when we met, you were having boy troubles with this lad called something with an A.
I believe I still have the clothes she gave me. Chosen, also I can impress him. I think this is referring here. VN database. The letter. Yeah, prequel, The Diary. It's a spin-off of the upcoming visual novel horror game. Join Rebecca Gales and Astrid Bray in their childhood adventures. Something I cannot be more uninterested in something. But yeah, there's Rebecca with glasses, and I assume that's Astrid. It looks like it has a different art style. It has 3 reviews on VN Database. A 6, a 5, and a 1. Yeah, that's pretty much expected. Sure, he's keen. He's a detective for heaven's sake, but feelings, more often than not, escapes him. He's not entirely clueless about it, I know. Won't be harboring affections for someone else if he is. Only those that aren't of his own escapes him.
What was it again? Aaron, Alan, Adele, Albert, Alexander, Andrew?
Which makes the whole talk all the more embarrassing. The more names she lists off, the more my discomfort grows, till my smile turns into a grimace. What will she think of me? Yes, she is married. To a man she probably loves at that. No, it's Luke. Well, I'm still stuck in the same place, yearning for the same person. Does she know? Luke and Hannah?
Ashton! Ash! That man is that boy! The same one. Oh, goodness me, after all these years! I can see why, though. He's quite dashing.
You don't really need to announce it to everyone within earshot, you know? Keep it.
I'm so sorry, but it really is cute.
I mean, we've already seen the scene. I don't need to go back and do the dialogue. She says that before a short moment, and a pity flickers in her eyes. Take that as a chance to change the subject, or anything more can be said over their matter. I didn't even sort of these things out for myself.
This is a nice party, Miss Wright.
This is a nice house. It's not haunted. Though to be frank, she's so willing to pass this up. Topper's already captured her attention.
Please, Hana's fine. We're friends of a sort, aren't we? We must be friends, seeing as I know about your little infatuation, Becky. Don't you worry, dearie. You'll have your happy ending yet.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I'm not too concerned about that, am I? That's not what I'm looking for.
Pretty good at killing people off.
Oh? And what makes you think that? Doesn't everybody want their happy ending?
The idea of happy endings sounds like they're just for fairy tales. And they are, sorta. I don't think you can just sit around, trapped in some tower and hope for the best.
That's not what a happy ending is.
If you love them, you have to fight for it, right? You're not just going to sit there and hope that everything will just fix itself on its own.
Oh, oops. Hypocrisy, that's what this is. I know I preach about something. This is exactly what I've been doing. No wonder I lost him to someone else, long before my own feelings are known. And then, I go and act as if I'm entitled to any of it. That by virtue of us growing together, he must return whatever I feel for him. That he's not allowed to look at anything, because I'm the one who stayed by his side the longest. When in the first place, Ashton has always been his own person. This is something I cannot force on him. I can only hold on to these, take care of it, till the time comes that I confess to him. And you know who else is evil? You know who else is evil? Butler. Think about it. German. Come on, you know if someone's German, they're evil. That's just fiction stereotype. That's not me saying German. No, that's like just a stereotype of the main antagonist is German. That's just a thing. You know, they talk in the corny German accent, and they're bald. Well, he's not bald, but that's a wig. Think about it. Have you ever seen him upside down? I don't think so. Great for you. I know this word, but I can't think of how to pronounce it. Your pursuit is. But if you can't, ignore this. If you won't, selfish. Been too selfish.
But what do I know?
I'm sure the daughter of the two greatest professors I've ever known is smart enough to know what she's talking about.
At one point, maybe I would have easily agreed to that. However, the past weeks has also seen changes in the way I view things. As nice as these things sound, turns out whatever I previously know may not even be true for other people, or for myself. It is sobering, and almost funny, the things I might have said with much certainty before now has doubts muddying each other. But there will be time to mull about these things later, because when a hush suddenly descends into the room, a whole different issue rears. Especially when Luke strides into the now quiet ballroom, fashionably late and oozing with the same pompous mien he always carries around with him.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Enjoying the party? I hope I'm not too late in welcoming you all to the Wright Mansion.
Before long, Hannah leaves my side to join him, and it doesn't take a genius to piece it all together.
Welcome one and all to our humble abode. Tonight, if you have yet to find yourself in your roles, you are our ladies and lords of the court of your king and queen, if you would excuse my presumptuousness. So enjoy the feast that has been laid out for your senses, as we only allowed the best to be served.
I wonder if it's going to show like the fight scene.
Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone.
His attitude, the manner he carries himself around people, his unfamiliarity with that part of the city. Of course. I should have known. Although, partly at fault here, tabloids and the gossip columns have never really been my thing. Should have expected that wherever Luke Wright is, some sort of drama will sure follow. Seems the kind of person who revels in it. Figures I'll find him on its own, even when he's not asking for it. Happens amidst a round of applause and hoots. The people lagging behind the crowd does not catch on, till the cheers turn into several scandalized gasps. Wait, she's the director's wife, right? Like, I don't know what to call him. Chief Inspector. Huh. Wait, that's Motive! That gives him a reason to hate the rights. Which is why Ashton hates the rights. He's, you know, maybe move some evidence around, been like, hey, these rights are pretty suspicious. Look at this bloody knife I have in my hand with my fingerprints on it because I just picked it up. I bet the rights used this to murder someone. And Ashton's like, of course, it was the rights. I got you, game. I got you. Figure it out.
I am pregnant. Will
I'm
you?
not going back
God
through
damn
this.
it, Luke!
I don't like.
I finally got you to talk to me.
What do you mean you're pregnant with? Luke, is this true?
Lies and slander, woman!
I mean, I believe it. I've seen Mary Ann's route, and I assume I know what happens if you go hard on, you know, the Luke route. Although, that might not happen. It depends.
Security! Yo, Hans, take her out of here before she makes an even bigger fool of herself!
No, you! I was so ready. Look at her. Does she look like she?
The commotion doesn't go further, despite the drunk woman appearing like she has plenty of more venom to spill. That middle route. I think that has to do with Hannah's route, or let's see if we die. Oh, it does. Oh, okay, they all converge here. Okay. In a little while, security shows up, escorting her out. Apparently she's the chief inspector's wife, too. And so this whole thing can't get any more messed up than it already is. What a mess. But the damage has been done. Beyond the repercussions this will bring, I'm more worried about Hannah. Maybe Luke, too, in part. He's in the man that hides behind his self-importance. Someone who cares for the person who stands beside him. No matter how questionable that is now. After all, no anger is worse than that of a scorned woman. He's lucky, though, that he's not to be the object of it anytime soon. Oh, I'm trying to send us Skype! Okay, I don't want to use Skype then! Swift loves him enough to not believe any of the woman's drunken prattles.
Take that troll up out of here immediately!
Skype? Quit Skype. I'm done with Skype.
And see to it that she isn't allowed here or anywhere we hold any authority in Luxbourne.
Hannah's outrage is a strange sight to witness. After those smiles and the grace she has carried herself with the entirety of the party. Like this, her eyes burning bright with fury. Don't doubt she can do so much more. You're in the scandalous woman, if need be. Shaming her is already an act of mercy. Generous enough. Coming from her. Wait, what if the chief inspector doesn't have a wife? And that's the ghost.
Everyone, please go back to enjoying the party. Don't let that mess of a woman ruin your night.
You heard her! Strike up the band, maestro, and let us dance
Skype.
like fireflies in the night!
You know, when she turns to Luke, eyes gleaming with hope, something feels off. Something I can't quite place. Here's not the face of a person who so ardently loves. It's a lack of tenderness in it, an absence of warmth and sincere affection. It's the kind that constricts, suffocates.
Well, that was a mess, wasn't it? And you handled it magnificently.
It happens. We are very important people, are we not?
No one seems to have noticed it, however. At their command, music resumes. There's a brief lull, reluctant pause, before the place comes to stir again. Shortly, the buzz returns to the room. Dancers have once again taken to the floor, and their guests' excited chatter begins anew. Maybe it's just my imagination?
Milady, would you like to dance?
With pleasure, my prince.
The unsettling feeling in my stomach remains, however. Even as the strained atmosphere dissolves into merriment. Even as I watch the couple lose themselves in the moment, but the people around them join them in. It grips me all the more when, once I leave the hall, the last glimpse I catch of Hannah is her smile. So, the thing that caused Hannah to be possessed is that argument. I think that's pretty clear now. And so, think about it. If that lady was a ghost, then, I mean, she could have done that to make Hannah, you know, emotions, and the Higurashi spoiler. Then unearthly one spreading across her soft features. The porter closes the door behind her with a soft click, while I hear from another chilling whispers. Those that seem to echo along with another familiar grin in my mind. Help me. Oh. I heard the help me. We're on the middle, yeah. The brush of fresh air against my cheeks just a little dampen the nervous edge of my bones. We're 20 minutes in? We can keep going for the finale, right? Ooh. It's a hard one. We're 25 minutes total. 20 minutes this session. Away from the rest of the party, I feel just bone dried. It's late. I've accomplished nothing of what I've come here for. Ashton's nowhere to be found. Not sure what makes me mad now more. That he ignored me the whole evening and might have just left without saying anything? Or knowing he obviously has some other motive for being here. Can't he at least trust his own friends for that?
He didn't have to lie to me.
He's not even answering his phone. That man has always been difficult to contact when he's out. Or you think he'd at least have the decency to keep the lines open? He's going to wander off on a party. One that he happened to attend with his friends at that. Let the call ring 9 more times before cutting it off. No use trying to find someone who refuses to be found. You can get home on my own. I don't need him. You can just...
Becca, where'd you go off to? If we're done here, let's go.
Oh, okay. My mistake. The second his voice gets through the crisp night air, instead I've allowed my annoyance to get the better of me. Fuming, patience forgotten, I whirl around and march towards him. One accusation against another piles up at the tip of my tongue, ready to be hurled at any moment. There's no hesitation holding me back when I fling it at him. The straight face he keeps as I do so doesn't help temper my anger either. It only makes me want to slap some sense into him.
Shouldn't I be the one asking you that?
Becca, I've been waiting here the whole time since that mess in the hall. I told you I hate parties like...
And before that, where have you been the entire evening?
Right then and there, I might have forgiven him, if he showed some ounce of remorse for leaving me like that. Maybe he could have looked away, giving me a sign that my assumptions might be right. He doesn't even need to put them into words. A simple gesture of confirmation is all I need. Rather, what I get is the same impassive look. He does that whenever he can't disclose anything. He does that whenever he's lying. The face of it, amidst the thick tension, frustrated huff is the only thing I can summon.
Be that way. Fine. Suit yourself.
No more words. After everything I've seen and heard tonight, I'm already too exhausted for those. So without speaking any further, I simply walk past him and stop over his car. Although before I can pull open the door, he calls out, one hand outstretched, gentle weight on my shoulders.
Wait, Becca.
He pauses, his brows furrowing and lips curving to a slight frown. I can almost see the gears turning in his head, while he tries to piece together everything he wants to say. Before, perhaps, might have waited patiently for those. He's not a man fond of using words to express himself. More often than not, any gesture of honesty will only come out blunt and coarse when forced. But today, for one reason or another, simply can't summon that forbearance.
Ashton, if you're just going to waste my time again...
Becca, listen. I don't know how else...
That much is obvious. Why don't you just take the whole bloody night? Go on. I can wait until next year. Better yet, why don't you just keep it all to yourself like you always do?
Stop interrupting him.
It's not like...
Rebecca, will you hear me out first?
Please. The silence I can offer him. Whether you all believe what he's about to say is still up for debate. Very long debate.
I honestly don't know how else to put this. I'm aware your parents have some kind of history with Hannah Wright, and somehow you're friends with her. But you should stay away from these people for now. Especially the husband.
Who? Luke?
His expression deepens into a scowl at my mention of the name, but whatever opinion he has, he doesn't immediately voice. Still, something about it has greatly displeased him, evident in the stiff note his tone assumes.
Yeah, he's bad news.
What does he have to do with this? Care to explain your reasons? Ooh. Let's save here. These are both basically the same thing. One's a bit more Luke-sided and one's not Luke-sided. Hold on, look at Ashton's.
Oh, what does he have to do with
Went
this?
down. Okay, I thought so. I'm gonna go want to explain your reasons because I think that's just the more natural.
Care to explain your reasons?
Not meant for it to sound as harsh as it does, but anger and frustrations have never been a good match for me, particularly in nights like this. Not surprising. It's not surprising when Ashton jerks back, as if I've struck him. Where are we? Oh, wait, we're all the way back at the beginning. Okay. Right there, okay. For a fleeting moment, something akin to hurt darts across his features. His eyes narrowing and hands closing in tightly into a fist that decides. Then swiftly, he glances away and shifts his focus on the lines of trees nearby, like an answer can be gleaned from the dark expanse.
I'm I'm really sorry, Becca.
What is it for? For the party? The vague answers he continues to give? Does it include all those times before this? The year's worth of it? Don't doubt its sincerity. However, at the moment, the forgiveness he's asking isn't something I'm all too willing to hand. Furious as I am. It's frankly a wonder how I can keep myself from raising my voice at him.
We'll talk about this tomorrow. And you better have a proper answer for me by then.
There's a brief hesitation before I step away. A short moment of wanting to say more. Waiting if he has anything to add. Suddenly silent. I still train in the distance. It's the last glimpse I see of him before I climb into his car. The door slams close with the same force as the anger I'm holding. Sound merely vanishes into the night, unnoticed. Now, do we call it there? No, I think we can finish it. Follow soon after. Shortly we're on our way back to the city. Yet, even the city's bright lights welcome us. The dense, somber air from the mansion still lingers. Yep. And the moon is almost at its highest by the time we reach Salem Wall. I'm gonna go back and do that dialogue choice over after I finish Rebecca's route, just to see what happens. Even after our respective heads have cooled, the atmosphere within the car remains rife with unspoken tension. This isn't a problem so easily fixed with a few handshakes. Quite frankly, I don't know what will. Ashton himself has no idea what to do when he alights and dawdles awkwardly in the middle of the car park, unsure. Almost seems like he's having an eternal debate, whether he should say goodbye or mutter another apology. Could have driven him away, purely out of spite, the second I've gotten off. Still, old habits die hard. It's late, and Ashton's flat is on the other side of the city. Irritation might have still rears its head every time I look at him right now, but I'm not too cruel to put him out on another long drive, especially when he still appears as if he hasn't gotten any rest.
You can borrow the couch.
Throw the keys to my flat his way before a protest forms on his lips. Although he catches it with ease, he eyes it with a wary expression and shoots a puzzled glance my way.
You haven't been forgiven. We're still going to have that talk, believe me. But I'm not about to send you out on another drive looking like that. It's late. Go get some rest.
We're setting aside a lot of loose ends like this, but he appears to have accepted that reason, at least in the meantime. He does give me another questioning glance when I shove past him, pulling my mobile in the process.
Where are you going? I thought...
You go ahead upstairs. I need to contact Professor Andrew.
Huh? She knows him?
Andrew? Why would you... Oh, no. Please.
This again? Is this about the... Oh. Is this about the letter thing? It's been a week, Becca. That's Ashton. No dialogue.
I thought we already agreed that was a dumb Halloween prank. No need to bring in the old guy.
Of course, he's still skeptical. Makes one wonder if he's even seeing things at all. Figures this curse will stay away from the scoffer. But this is another loose end tonight that I can't just leave alone. Ashton's beliefs notwithstanding. Just so happens that is one I can delve into using means other than taking a look at the mansion itself.
Ashton, do you really think I still give a shite after that
Wow.
stunt you pulled tonight?
No, but this is...
Spent so many years with him to know that this is about to turn into another argument. Before he can finish it, cut him off with a firm raise in my hand.
Look, I don't care. There are weird things happening around here. And yes, it's Isabella's brand of weird. Ghostly voices, strange sounds, and a bloody woman sitting at the back of my car. You don't have to believe me. And I no longer have the patience to convince you, so just leave me be, Ashton.
He doesn't push it, growing quiet instead, although I know he has a whole case of it prepared inside his head. But there's a reluctant shift in his movement when he steps away from our conversation. Short of climbing the stairs, he stops, turns to face me with an expression almost too... conflicted?
Are you really sure
What?
that there was something? That you've been, seeing things?
Yes, I'm very, very certain. Now go, and you better not break anything in there. The last time I let you stay over, it was that statuette Belle gave me. You haven't even replaced that one.
The last fiery reprimand goes both unheard and unanswered, as he disappears behind the stairs. If things aren't as strained, he might have had a quip or two about it, followed by a light banter. Instead, for a long moment, left staring after him. There's something in the way he asked it that nags. Coupled with this expression, the whole exchange just feels unsettling. One that doesn't fade as I gather my thoughts and shift my focus on another, even as I dial Professor Andrew's number. And this is when it clicks. During the long wait for the professor, one stray thought emerges from the unease. Don't go to see the professor alone at night. This is bad. Ashton has not intended for his question to be a jibe. It's concern. For what, though? For mere well-being? The letter's curse? The woman I mentioned? The answers for those will have to wait, however. Finally, the call connects, and Professor Andrew's voice echoes from the receiver.
Professor Andrew?
Rebecca? It's late. What can I do for you?
I know, I'm sorry, but this is a bit urgent.
After all, this is a more pressing matter. Our lives might be at stake, and we're still in the dark.
Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you to do me a favor.
Oh, it cut. What's the favor? Oh, Professor Andrew Clark has agreed to meet with me 2 days later in front of Luxbourne's public library. There's other commitments, but being a longtime family friend has its perks. My parents' connections should thank for that. Oh, is that how Ashton? No, here's his professor. I don't know. First, I'm not the sort to impose on him often, but the situation is, well, it's not entirely bad. Although it does require calling in a few favors from friends like him. Without his signature, won't be able to gain access to the library's restricted section. This is Harry Potter. But I want to get more in-depth information on the Ermengarde mansion, that is. Not simply what they chose to show to the general public. As much as I hate to admit it, there's always something people sense you, whatever it is, will never find it in the general section. That's what they're keeping here, beyond the public eye. Thought of that alone makes me antsy. Thankfully, I don't have to brood over it. The wait for the professor doesn't last long. Never did enjoy making people wait. Likewise, he dislikes people who are tardy. He arrives 5 minutes after I do, greeting me with a kind smile and a casual wave in his hand. I haven't seen him in a long time, but it appears he hasn't changed much. His familiar presence alone is enough for a fond smile to spread across my face.
Professor Andrew.
What if this is just... Hold on. Think about it. What if Chief Inspector Harvey Lee, this is just him? That's the same face! He's just... as a costume on.
Rebecca, didn't I say long ago you can drop the professor?
You know I can't possibly do that, even if I can. It feels disrespectful to call you by your name alone.
Both you and Ashton never listen to this old man. Kids these days.
All right, but just for today, since you're doing me a huge favor, Andrew.
I guess you simply can't have it all, even at this old age. But pleasantries aren't what we're here for, yes? You mentioned you needed a permit.
Yes, sir, if that's okay with you.
More than fine. Anything in pursuit of knowledge, as they say.
He hands me the permit without further prompting. Just like he promised, he's also written a recommendation after his signature. This is more than enough to get me to those files. A matter of small things before slipping it into my pocket. Although when I look back up, his brows are furrowed, a very face of curiosity. So we're on the 30th. That's not the day Zachary. That's the day Zachary gets. Okay. That's surprising, considering how vague I've been during our little talk over the phone. And Ashton was snooping around the mansion, supposedly that day, is today, isn't he? Which is interesting. Right then and there, I've decided to tell him if he ever asks. Maybe not all of it, but stuff he needs to know. It's the least I can do to thank him. As expected, true to his inquisitive nature, he asks.
If you don't mind, though, I know you've always been an eager learner. But may I know what in the restricted section that piqued your curiosity?
It's the Ermengarde mansion, sir.
He's quick to raise an eyebrow at that. For a while, I feel he'll take the slip of paper back. Is there something in what I said?
The ones they have out in the general isn't enough?
I'm, hoping for a more in-depth read, sir. More about the history and the people who once lived there. The general section doesn't have anything much on that.
Oh, I see. Well, you certainly aren't the first one to be enamored with that place. It doesn't shock me. The architecture is admirable, and the urban legends are something to talk about. Why, just this past week, I've got a few asking me about that.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
I think enamored might be a little too much to describe our interest in it. But I have to agree. The mansion is beautiful, even with the renovations. They kept the stained glass windows, too. They are magnificent.
The stained glass windows are the ghost.
Oh, you've seen it.
I was there for a few hours to attend a housewarming party. The invitation was for my parents, but they couldn't make it. My mum used to work as a private tutor for the Evans. Hannah Wright?
Ah, I know of her. Her husband, too. Who doesn't?
Oh, he got all mad.
Luxbourne's most popular couple.
Something falls behind his eyes, the warmth in them suddenly gone. Like he's reliving a painful, distant memory, seeing it play right in front of him. So look, the professor, something is up with him. It disappears almost as soon as it surfaces, but that look has unsettled something in me.
Is something the matter?
Like, that is very clear.
Nothing much. But you know, you're already like a daughter to me. So if you could, do be careful with the friends you make.
Is this about the rights, sir?
Just a friendly advice from an old man. Don't think much about it. Anyway, I have to leave now. Can't miss my weekly serving of bear claws.
Bear claws?
Say hi to your parents at the detective inspector for me, will you? I wish you luck with all that research.
I will. Thanks for this, Andrew.
Andrew gives my shoulder a light squeeze. The gesture younger in me has always appreciated. Quickly crosses the street after. He squeezes her shoulder to check if she's a ghost. I'll watch him until he disappears behind the door to a cafe. The doubts swimming inside my head find a moment to rest. Whatever his business is with the rights isn't anything I should concern myself about. But somehow, in the grand scheme of things now, all of it feels oddly relevant. The how, though, I've yet to find out. I'm hoping the library will give me the answers I want this time. On a gloomy Sunday morning, the library is especially empty, the second floor in particular. I've always considered this place to be a sanctuary, a respite away from the hubbub in the city. As a child, I grew up reading books here, spending hours here to no end, poring over the pages, living out fantasies in my head until my parents called me home. Now it feels nothing like it. The silence is smothering, suffocating. Even with how clean I've kept the the white room? Now the entire small of it lacks a speck of dust or clutter. Breathing is a struggle for air. Not far into my stay, begin looking for the noise outside. Perhaps as a way to calm this unease, start to hum a tune. Imagine that. Why, of all the things that has to be... No. London Bridge is falling down. That's the ghost calling. This is sharp, however. Fills the lull with something far less awkward, far less deafening. That is enough for the distraction. Our business here. No time for silly daydreams, only important work to attend to. Even if there's a possibility of it being fruitless, for some means, it feels like I have to do it. Not for me, not for the people who have been affected by this. What do we even call this? A haunting? Halloween prank gone wrong? A curse? If Isabella was here with us, what would she say? We're about to get to the branch. Would you blame us for not listening? That it cost us a life? Her life? For any of us to begin heeding any of it? It all stems from that one moment in the movie house, doesn't it? We could have avoided this had we only taken her warnings to heart. One stupid mistake is all it took to send our normal lives on a downward spiral. Frankly, I'm no longer sure if I'm angry at myself for it, or the universe for throwing us into this mess. But we can only make do with what little we have. That's exactly what I'm doing. Going here might not be the right decision, but it's a start. It's definitely not the right decision. I spelled right, W, Luke right.
A good start.
Hannah right. Doesn't take much time for me to find what I need. Old newspapers. A long kept in special storage cabinets at the far end of the restricted section. The year is 1620s and beyond. Before the city of Luxborn even exists in the records, when the mansion has just been built, Ainslam is nothing more but a small, sleepy hamlet near a river. A lot of pieces are missing. Days, sometimes several consecutive weeks without any records remaining. Often it goes on for years. Troublesome, but as it is, I can find anything at all considering how far I'm looking back. Can't be picky now. Can't waste time mulling over the record keepers of the old could have done to make this a breeze for me.
I can still work with this.
The faint roar of the machine keeps me company as I go over each slide, each image, hoping for something that goes beyond what the local lore knows. There are snippets, little mentions of the family that once settled in the house here and there. The usual singing of praises for the couple will help brought up what was once a tiny settlement into a buzzing town. Nothing substantial, nothing I didn't know before. Continues on like this for a good while, till I come by the years after their deaths. The people of Ainslam might have loved Lord William and Lady Isabella Ermengarde, mourned their passing, helped them in high esteem in the years later. After there's one named Charlotte, right? But it's their daughter that was remembered by the fondly by the townspeople. Her parents built this town. Yep, Lady Charlotte was the one who made it prosper. Remarkable, considering it was a period of recovery from a bout of plague that killed half the town's population, including her parents. Free at last. Air puts a stop to local slave trade. What a surprising thought, though. And oh, that's the ghost. Apparently her time also marked more than superficial changes to the place. She moved things, changed laws, altered old customs and traditions. They were done on a woman's whimsy, it doesn't say, but she seems capable enough for more than that. The gist of it, the town she built, rebuilt. It's what eventually grew up to become Luxborn City, while the nearby Ainsland village remained as it was, relic of the old. A frown swiftly forms on my face.
So, why is there a need to hide this?
One by one, try to recall every lesson I've gone through, every book, paper, and journal I've read. None of those ever mentioned this. It's always the lord and the lady of the house, their endearing child, always an afterthought to those antecedents. The one who always took her life in the end. Never someone who restored a town from the brink of collapse, or brought new ideas to it. Is it because she's a woman?
That pisses me off.
No, it's because, well, ghosts. Granted, not everything is sunshine and rainbows. Not all aspects of her can be considered admirable. But this is history. Some parts are bound to naturally delve into unpleasant territory whether I like it or not. Oh, Luxborn witch burns. Is it the ghost? Witch hunts, for example, become common near the end of her life. Which would have been completely unremarkable, might have gone to a mere footnote in history, but did not involve Lady Charlotte, the very slave she saved. It caused quite a stir, enough to leave almost a week's worth of clippings. The girl was eventually burned, condemned by an entire... That's why the ghost looks like that. Like, you know how she has, like, the ugly feet? The word of Lady Charlotte alone. This doesn't really have anything to do with this curse, does it? Unless the woman following us and the slave are the same person. Tale of revenge? How cliché! However, with a lack of accurate photographs, it's impossible to tell. Maybe if I squint, illustration would start resembling her. But in my field, it doesn't work that way. Shouldn't work that way. I'd be the laughing stock of the community.
This isn't going anywhere.
Mentally exhausted, take a careful step away from the screen, pressing a palm to my tired eyes. The lack of ample light in this area doesn't help. Headache already threatens to form at the back of my head, and I'm nowhere near figuring things out. This is simply too much to take in all at once.
I should have asked for someone's help.
Now I'm at a dead end. Start gathering everything around me and placing them back in their respective envelopes for storage. Emotions no longer new after volunteering here a number of times. Didn't make much mess anyway, considering the lack of materials available to begin with. I have to look somewhere else. The way remains unknown, though. Just as I'm about to slip the last of the slides in, something catches my attention. My hand pauses. I don't know what that is. The thing halfway through its protective sleeve. This is one of the few I've set aside without taking a careful look at. Seems like a gossip column at first glance, but upon closer look, slide it back into the reader, gently turning the dials and switch at the page. Takes some time, once the image becomes clear. Ermengarde hair announces beat throttle. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm stupid. Formal engagement to be married. Okay, I thought it meant that, but...
Betrothal.
Betrothal. Okay. I don't doubt it. The details are far more intricate, their likeness likely closer to how they might have appeared at the time. They're both recognizable this way, closer to those paintings I've seen in the mansion. However, it's the man standing beside her, Edward Godfrey, according to the article, that caught my attention previously. He looks like someone. Her first cousin, and eventually her fiancé. Maybe it's the posture, the manner in which he holds himself. Maybe it's the shape of his eyes. I can't be too certain about that until I've gotten a better reference. Nevertheless, there is a resemblance. It looks eerily like... My head snaps up, glowering at whatever's running in the floor above. Whoever. Any day, and march upstairs and rip again whoever it is.
This is a library, for heaven's sake.
That's either foreshadowing for the end of this route or foreshadowing for another route. But now isn't the time. Gotten what I need. Without wasting another minute, I hit the machine's print button for a copy of the page, while my other hand moves to put everything back into storage. Ragged exhale slips through me. Relief, perhaps? Maybe this is already exhaustion. Regardless, soon, closing my eyes as I wait for the printer to finish, only to stave off a headache building up from everything. Stop! Your research was interrupted, however, when... Get into there! Despite many doubts about this, despite all the tension in my shoulders, this may be a small fine, but listen, I can start somewhere. We can start somewhere. This is going on for pretty long. There's a way out of this. I know it. The printer sputters to a halt. However, sound isn't what makes me snap my eyes open. Oh. A feeling. Chilly brush of air behind my back. Brief enough for something sickening to suddenly lodge itself in my throat while I take in my surroundings. It's that suffocating sensation again, creeping to every part of me, crawling under my skin, draining me little by little of any strength. From that day in the mansion, from that brief moment at the school, without delay, I grabbed the papers and make a quick beeline for the door. Oh, okay, my whole body freezes.
What are you doing, Miss Pink?
Okay. Hold my breath, not daring to make any noise. For a little while, only the sound of papers crumpling under my grasp fills the room. The excitement from earlier, gone instantly. Replaced by a cold, seeping dread spreading throughout my limbs. But more than the fear is the anger. It pains me to hear her using my own student's voice against me. More than once I believed it was really her. She doesn't know who I am.
Why don't you play with me?
Although she hasn't made a move, there isn't a wall behind me. I'm able to take a step back. Anything can put a distance between us, no matter how small, as long as I'm out of her reach. But I steel myself. Because if I do fall back, turn away from her, I'll be left with no way out. I'm not dying here.
You think you scare me?
Actually, you are dying. Maybe.
Miss Pink, don't be so rude. I'm waiting.
I'm not afraid of you, you spook.
You spook!
This is one Scotswoman. You aren't getting into an early grave without a fight. Come at me.
I expected a chill lunge, proving to me what a monster she is. Instead, all she gives me is a smile, twisted and gnarled. I want to protect that smile. It's as if the time has crawled to a stop at the sight of it. A split-second decision. And before I know it, my body shifts. Eyes closing in anticipation, hand grabbing whatever's solid enough to be on the nearby table and hurling it at it. Don't bother looking if whatever I threw hits its spike. I run, as fast as my legs can carry me. Despite my heart threatening to burst out of my chest. But in this maze of bookshelves, the whole place almost void of people. Is there even a place safe enough I can escape to? There's people upstairs! There are people upstairs, aren't there? The weekend staffers, some volunteer? There should be. Even if it's a Sunday, and wait, what if the thing shared on the roof is her on the ceiling? I'm only here on a special permit. There should at least be one other person manning this place. I heard them a while ago. Of course, I couldn't possibly tell them about this. They won't believe me in the same manner. In the same manner, we didn't buy Isabella's stories until it's too late. But I can easily come up with excuses. For now, what's important is I don't end up trapped and alone with him.
Safety in numbers, as they say.
It's a wolf and sheep puzzle. There's no hesitation in my steps as I race upstairs, ears straining for any signs of sounds of the woman appearing, tripping at me again any second. I still hear her behind me, the grinding of bones. She whispers as she keeps calling me back. Though it's at a distance. Hey, go back, she's calling your name, come on. It's at a distance, I don't slow my pace. Library rules be dang. You can't run in the library! What you doing? Because no matter how much I prepare to be a brave, the level headed one, or the tough one, this terrifies me. This scares me more than anything. This isn't how I plan to die. But when I get to the third floor... did we make the wrong choice? No, that's totally a dead end. Come on, tell me that's not a dead end. Just behind me, somewhere at the foot of the stairs, panic rises up from my throat. No other way now but up. So I bolt, desperation kicking in without warning. Take 2 steps at a time, so she can just transform this into the shadow realm, I see. Tripping clumsily over some of it in my last-ditch attempt to escape. But I know, in the back of my mind I know all of this is futile. With every footfall, with every ragged breath, with every pounding in my heart, it gets hammered into my mind. It only becomes clear to me once the door at the end opens. Revealing the vast expanse of Luxborn's early morning skyline, they're treading at my heels, blocking my only way out. Is that Ashton on the phone? Well, Rebecca, the cat was kind of starting to like you. Except the one that greets me isn't who I'm expecting.
Hannah?
Oh, Becky, sweetie. Why would you ever run away
She's
from me?
gonna tell Ashton, hey, Hannah's behind everything. What have I done?
The trek up here must be exhausting, isn't it? You poor, poor darling.
The voice is the same, even the looks. And nothing about this Hannah screams the Hannah I know. She exudes none of the sweetness or cordiality she always has with her, even when faced with people she barely knows. If I have not seen what I've seen, heard what I've heard this past week, very likely brush this drying disconnect to the odd weather. However, something's off with her. My mind is screaming the space between us is best kept.
Why don't you come here, sweetie? Downstairs with me.
I can't.
Oh, why ever not?
Please, Hannah. Just leave.
Don't be such a spoilsport, honey. Don't you want to catch up? It's been years since we've seen each other, hasn't it? Don't you miss Big Sister Hannah?
Hannah One-chan? No, I'm good.
Maybe some other time, Hana. I'm here on important business.
Important business, she says. Little Becky all grown up. Now she's learning to meddle. Tell me, darling, what did the curious girl find out?
I don't think that's any of your business.
Oh, believe me, it is. It is now. Especially if it involves my darling prince.
Pardon? She laughs. Her here features contorting into something horrid, close to grotesque. Twisted little thing completely removed from the person I met not a day ago. This isn't Hannah. She's gone. This little fat causing me to take a wary step back. Since when? She appeared okay in her housewarming party, and as annoying and overbearing I find her husband is, feel sorry for the Bahade? He might be a not okay guy, but he doesn't deserve this. Hannah doesn't deserve this.
What's wrong, Becky?
You look like you've seen a ghost!
You look like you've seen a ghost. All I'm asking is what brought you here at this hour. Of course, if you didn't do anything wrong, we wouldn't be having this problem, yes.
Stay away from me!
A useless plea. Does she even understand a word I say? Can she even? Is she still human in the first place? Somehow I doubt it. Because no human being will ever do this.
You and your friends have become such a nuisance to our lives. Even Zach, the pitiful bastard, and I trusted him.
What did you do to the Zach?
What did you do to Zachary?
Oh, he's in a good place now.
Yeah, dead.
So do me a favor, sweetie, and come with me. I promise it'll be worth your while.
Simply imagining what she's capable of doing to us. Never want to give her that chance.
I'm telling you to back off!
I'll jump! I'll do it!
How rude. I'm sure Mumsy Gales wouldn't be happy about that. Please be a good girl now.
Her gait is slow as she walks forward, but with every inch she draws nearer, even as I pull away to take back what little distance I can between us. The smile on her merely grows wider. So did she call Ashton, like, so he can hear this conversation? A mocking gesture, for me. She may be less of a human now, but I'm pretty sure she's fully aware she's got me cornered. She wouldn't even bother making it here if she isn't. But I can't look away. Can't bring myself to, even as the heel of my shoe eventually hits the edge. End of the line. Trapped. Alone. So this is how it ends, huh? Quietly and without fanfare, surrounded by not by a warm breeze, but a chilly morning air. No soft footfalls on an empty hallway, but the din of the early morning traffic below. No warm afternoon light. Nothing but the cold, pungent smell of death, all underneath a dreary morning sky. All fitting. Yet, amidst all of it, there's a single voice I want to hear. So, you didn't have- come on, you could- only for the last time.
Becca?
Hey, did I wake you up?
Hey, just be calm, you know, there's not a ghost.
No, I left you a voicemail, so I thought, where are you?
The one I grew up with. Who always got grades better than I did, without even trying. Whose silly antics I have to put up with all these years. Who stood by me without, even when things got tougher. That one person who's been a constant in my life.
Ash, do you remember that one time?
That one time!
What?
Back in secondary, we joined a contest back then, didn't we? We had to dress you up as a girl and...
No.
But you looked really pretty. I think I still have
Don't talk about
picture
that.
somewhere.
Burn it. We're not talking about that again. You promised. Seriously, what brought this on?
Nothing. It's just the first thing I remembered.
So weird. Despite everything, my lips curl up into a smile. Faint. Sad little thing on its own given this. Tell him! Yo, there's Ghost Hannah, library. If you find me dead, I probably didn't want to jump, but I kinda had to. Because even at the very end, I know I have this. The casual talk, the friendly banter. Talking like how we always would as children. When they haven't been too selfish. When they haven't taken all this for granted. Favoring my feelings. Then perhaps won't be regretting anything now.
You're being weird today, Becca. Whatever. Listen, I need you to go home right away. I'm at Salem Well right now and...
I wish time would simply stop for us. Well, time has stopped. You know, Ghost, and she's like, oh yeah, pick your time with Ghost. There's still a lot of things I want to say. Things I've never bothered to saying out loud. Things I should have said a long time ago to someone who's always been by my side. But in this moment, there's only one.
Thanks, Ash.
One thing's constant.
Hold on, did I do something?
For everything.
Rebecca, what?
I'm so glad to have known you.
Wait, what are you? God damn Damn it, Rebecca, where are you?
A soft click. Let's see the journal before it cuts. Trapped with nowhere to go, Rebecca called the one person who had always been a special place in her heart. All to say thank you, if only for the last time. Soft click, and I'm closing my eyes. This is a rush of air, the sound of the world dimming around me, like a song coming towards an inevitable end.
London Bridge is
very
falling
funny,
falling down, falling
Let me skip.
down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady.
Can't skip! Very funny. That was a very quiet falling sound. How tall is the library? Unlocked a memory fragment. What's going on? Cat! You killed the cat! What? That's Marianne's cat. The cat's a ghost! So, okay, there's Ghost Girl. And why are they... That's the Luke lookalike. Huh. Interesting. So the, I should call him Prince. I forget his name. Let's call him Luke Sr. Luke Sr. wasn't in on it. He wasn't a bad... Hannah Sr. was. Charlotte. Right? Ashton. Oh, we made it. Oh, we're in the 20... This is perfect. I've never wanted something more than I want this. Well, let's read his profile before I call it. Born December 26th. Wasn't there already a Christmas birthday? April 1st. Oh, well, it's not Christmas, but Capricorn 29. It's 5'5". He's pretty short. Well, he's American Japanese. Okay, yeah, so I guess that makes sense. Christian, non-practicing. He has a cross. They're like, hey, how do I make this guy like Battler? You know, give him a cross. Well, but Battler's cross is sometimes upside down. He likes taiyaki ice cream, Shirley, Ophelia, old-timey action movies and thrillers, kart racing, jazz and swing, Sherlock Holmes, Justice. You know, I don't like Sherlock Holmes. Not really a fan. There's little love between his parents, and though he grew up privileged, he found little joy in student life. Saw the standard testing system as his chore and considered his popularity among his peers to be an annoyance. Rebecca was the only one he considered a friend at St. He was no better when he went to university. If anything, his indifferent outlook got worse with his parents' divorce. He initially took law, but was quickly disillusioned by how heavy-handed and abused the system was. Forensic science, on the other hand, became fascinating for him. He served a brief time as a police officer before he applied to join Lexborn's criminal investigation department. Early on, he was too eager to deal out justice, but his numerous years in the service became quite the learning experience for him. Now, as a detective inspector, he's been assigned to the biggest case yet. His biggest case yet. Okay, we're starting on a very good day. Like, we don't have to go through any slog of, you know, before finding the letter, before Isabella dies. We're just straight to it. I'm A-okay with that. This might be a good route yet. Oh, let's look at the tree. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god. It's huge. Okay, Ashton, all your friends are dead. Ready to redeem yourself? Well, he'll redeem himself next time, hopefully. With more of the letter. I was gonna call it there for today, but I'm gonna record a bit more. Just, you know, at the start of every round, I'm interested. And, you know, the end of Rebecca's route wasn't bad. It was pretty decent. We probably would have lived if we went through the door. But I figured it was like a fake stay night. If you try to go for the exit, Rin just kills you in Unlimited Blade Works. You gotta make a detour. But I guess we made the wrong choice. I figured you should have a trap set up, you know. But it's not. Although, interestingly enough, so I'm gonna say in this ending, she still dies, but instead of thank you, she says like I love you. That's just my assumption. And this is the one where she lives. Oh man. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time with some more of the letter. Bye.